you remember the beginning." She was replying fast. Sometimes before you even finished typing. There were voice notes at midnight and long paragraphs about nothing that somehow meant everything. You'd put your phone down and pick it up 30 seconds later just to see if she'd said something else. Not because you were anxious, because talking to her felt like a reward. And now you're staring at a one-word reply. Ha ha. And something in you already knows. Not screaming knows. Quietly knows. The kind of knowing that sits in your chest and doesn't move. Why does she feel so far away? Did I do something wrong? She used to text me like she couldn't stop. What changed? Is she losing interest? Or am I losing her? Here's the thing most guys never get told. She didn't lose interest in you. She lost the feeling of being met by you. And there is a difference, a massive one, between those two things. Most people think attraction fades because chemistry dies. But the real truth is that attraction fades because the small, invisible emotional signals you send through a screen stopped making her feel chosen, present, and worth showing up for. Texting isn't small talk. For a woman, her phone is where she decides over and over every single day whether you are someone she is moving toward or pulling back from. You are not a bad person. You are not failing. You just were never taught how this actually works beneath the surface. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly which texting patterns are quietly draining her interest and what to do differently starting today. Let's get into it. Before we get into the mistakes, I need to give you a framework. Because without it, this list is just 9 random tips, and I don't want to give you tips. I want to give you understanding. Most guys believe that if a woman is losing interest over text, the answer is to text more, to be funnier, to try harder, to send the perfect thing that somehow fixes the energy that has been slowly draining for weeks. But here's what's actually happening beneath the surface. A woman's emotional interest is not stored in her mind. It lives in her nervous system. And her nervous system is reading your texts before her conscious brain can catch up. It's not about what you say, bro. It's about the emotional signal your words are sending. Am I a priority? Am I being seen? Does this person actually want to be here, or are they just filling silence? Every text you send is either making her nervous system feel safe and drawn in, or it is making it feel unseen and slowly step back. This is not manipulation or a game. This is basic human attachment wiring. We all do this, men and women both. The difference is that most women are far more emotionally attuned to these signals than they consciously realize, which means the shift in her interest often happens quietly, long before she can even articulate why. Emotional distance in a relationship doesn't hit like a wall. It forms like scar tissue. Slowly, over 100 small moments that never got repaired. Most of the texting mistakes I'm about to share with you are not dramatic. They are quiet, repeated, easy to miss. And that is exactly what makes them so dangerous. So let's talk about all 9 of them. Mistake number 1, the dead-end reply. Most guys do not realize they are doing this. You get a text from her, something with energy, something she put thought or feeling into, and you respond with, haha, yeah, cool, or a single emoji. You're not being cold on purpose. You're tired. You're distracted. You're just not a big texter. But here's the deeper truth. Her nervous system does not know that. All it registers is the signal. She reached out with energy. You returned nothing. Here's what that looks like in real life. She texts, "Okay, this just made my whole day. I finally got the promotion I've been waiting on for months." And you reply, "Nice." Meanwhile, the connecting version of that same moment looks like, "Wait, seriously? You've been working for this for so long. I'm actually proud of you. How are you celebrating?" One response closes a door. The other opens a room. And she notices. When you start matching her energy, even 60% of what she gives, what she feels is, "He sees me." And that feeling, that is the entire foundation of everything that comes next. Mistake number 2, the disappearing act. This one is sneaky because it often comes from a healthy place. You have a life, you're busy, you don't want to be glued to your phone. That's fine. That's good, actually. But most guys never communicate the silence. They just go quiet. For hours. Sometimes a day. No context, no heads up, nothing. And here's what's actually moving through her in that silence. Her brain. Not because she's needy, but because human attachment wiring works exactly this way, starts filling in the blank. Did I say something? Is he cooling off? Is this how it starts? She's not being dramatic. She is doing exactly what every nervous system does when connection suddenly disappears without explanation. It searches for a reason. The fix is not texting her every hour. The fix is one sentence before you go dark. Heading into a long meeting. Talk tonight. That's it. 12 words. And what moves through her when she reads that is, he thought about me, even when he was walking out the door. That's the difference between absence feeling like distance and absence feeling like trust. Mistake number 3, the one-sided interrogation. Here's the part no one talks about. Some guys try hard, like genuinely hard. They ask questions, they check in, they stay engaged, and somehow she still starts to pull back. This is the mistake that confuses people the most, because on the surface it looks like effort. But what it actually creates is exhaustion. When every single text is a question fired at her. How was your day? What are you doing tonight? Did that thing work out? Are you okay? You are not having a conversation. You are conducting an interview. And most people in relationships fall into this without realizing it because questions feel safe. They feel like interest. But there is a difference between curiosity and extraction. The connecting version isn't less interest, it's more sharing. Your presentation was today, right? I actually thought about it this morning, hoping it went well. Now she is not on the witness stand, she is being thought about. Something in her quietly registers. He holds space for what matters to me. And that feeling of being held, not interrogated, is what keeps her wanting to come back to the conversation. Mistake number 4, the vague non-commit. This one kills momentum faster than almost anything else. She asks about plans, or signals she wants to do something, see you, make something happen, and you reply with, "Maybe. We'll see. I'll let you know." Or the ultimate connection killer, "I don't know. Depends on the week." Most guys do this because they don't want to overcommit. They are managing their schedule, their energy, their options. Totally reasonable in isolation. But here's what it feels like from her side of the screen. She is choosing to want something with you, and you are making her feel like an option rather than a priority. Her brain doesn't log it as "he's busy." It logs it as "he's not sure about me." The shift is not about saying yes to everything. It is about being specific and warm even when the answer is uncertain. "I can't confirm Thursday yet, but I want to. Let me check and get back to you by tomorrow night." That is the same information, but the emotional signal is completely different. What she hears is, "He wants this. He's just working out the details." And that is exactly the kind of presence that makes her feel chosen instead of convenient. Mistake number 5. Texting about nothing meaningful every day. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because this sounds like a good problem to have. You're texting constantly. You're consistent. But somehow the conversation feels like white noise. Memes. What are you eating? Weather complaints. The same check-in every single day at the same time in the same format with nothing underneath it. Most couples fall into this because routine feels like connection. But routine without depth is just noise. And over time, her nervous system stops looking forward to the notification from you because she already knows exactly what it's going to say. The anticipation disappears. And when anticipation disappears, so does attraction. This isn't about being unpredictable for sport. It's about bringing something real to the exchange. Send her an article about something she mentioned 3 weeks ago and say, "Thought of you." Ask her a question no one has asked her before. Tell her one true thing about yourself. Not performatively, just honestly. What she feels when you do that is something like, "Oh, there he is. The actual him." And that feeling of being surprised by your realness is one of the most powerful ways attraction rebuilds itself. Mistake number 6. The "we need to talk" pressure drop. Here's what makes this one so destructive. It usually comes from a good place. You want to address something. You want to fix something. You feel tension and you want to name it. And instead of waiting to do that in person, you text it. "Hey, can we talk? I feel like something's been off. Did I do something?" And suddenly, the conversation, which hasn't even started yet, is already loaded with dread. Here's the deep truth. Her nervous system cannot safely process emotional confrontation over text. Nobody's can. Text strips away tone, expression, timing, all the cues that help a nervous system stay regulated while receiving hard information. So when you drop emotional weight into a text thread, her brain cannot tell whether this is a minor concern or a relationship-ending conversation. And because it cannot tell, it prepares for the worst. She goes quiet, or she gets defensive, or she pulls back for days. Not because she doesn't care, because her system went into protection mode the moment that text landed. The rule is simple, and it changes everything. Anything that carries emotional weight get said face to face, or at minimum on a call with your actual voice in it. Text for lightness. Save the real stuff for presence. When you hold that line, she starts to feel safe with your name on her screen. And safety is the soil that attraction grows in. Mistake number 7. Matching her bad energy back. Most guys do this instinctively and never realize the damage it's doing. She sends something short, cold, clipped. Maybe she's having a hard day. Maybe she is genuinely pulling back. Maybe she is testing something, consciously or not. And you respond by going equally short, equally cold, thinking you're protecting yourself, thinking you're not going to be the one who looks more invested. But here's what actually happens beneath the surface. You both retreat, and what starts as one person having a rough moment becomes a mutual distance that calculates into both of you waiting for the other one to reach first. Most couples never figure out this dynamic, the one where two people are both waiting to be chosen while making themselves impossible to choose. The emotionally mature version of this is not rolling over. It is not ignoring the shift. It is acknowledging it without spiraling. Hey, you seem a little distant today. All good? That's it. No pressure, no interrogation, no emotional chess. What that does in her is something she won't always say out loud, but will always feel. He noticed. He asked. He didn't punish me for being off. That's what emotional availability looks like in a text thread. And she will not forget it. Mistake number 8. The late night only text. This is one of the most relationship stalling patterns that exists, and most guys in it don't even see it. You're quiet all day. She hasn't heard from you. And then, somewhere around 9, 10, 11 p.m., you resurface. Hey, what are you up to? Miss you. And she knows, not on a surface level, but on the deeper level where women store these things, that you are bored, or tired, or lonely. And she is the option you reached for when the day ran out of better options. Not louder declarations, not longer texts, not more I miss yous. What she needs is to be thought of during your actual life, not just at the end of it. Because here's the emotional math her nervous system is doing without her even knowing. If he only texts me when his day is over, then I am his afterthought. And nobody wants to be someone's afterthought. The shift is radical in its simplicity. Text her something real in the middle of your day. Not every day, not on a schedule. Just when something actually reminds you of her. Because something will if you let it. Drove past that restaurant. We have to go back. Just got out of the worst meeting of my life, and for some reason I wanted to tell you first. What's moving through her when she gets that midday text is, I forgot how good it feels to be chosen when it isn't convenient. That is the kind of desire that sustains itself. Mistake number 9. Never initiating with meaning. This is the one most couples never figure out. And it is the one that, when you actually fix it, changes the entire energy of everything that comes before it. Most guys eventually fall into a pattern of waiting. Waiting for her to text first, or responding when she does, but never really opening anything. They are present, but passive, reactive, but never proactive. And on the surface, this looks fine. The conversation keeps moving, but beneath the surface, she is slowly shouldering the emotional weight of keeping the connection alive. And women feel that weight, deeply, even when they can't name it. Here's what's actually moving through her when she is always the one who reaches first. Does he actually want this? Or does he just not want to lose it? And that question, left unanswered long enough, becomes its own answer. This isn't a communication hack. This is just what two emotionally present people naturally do. They reach toward each other on purpose, not out of need, out of want. The shift is learning to initiate with something real. Not, hey, not, what's up? Something that shows her you thought of her unprompted. Saw something today that made me think about what you said last week. Random, but I'm really glad you're in my life. I don't know why, but I just wanted to say hey. That last one is almost too simple to believe. But what she feels when she reads it is, he wanted to reach me. Not because he needed something, because I matter to him during the ordinary parts of his day. And that, honestly, is the whole thing. That is what keeps attraction alive. Here is the truth about everything we just covered. This is not a checklist. It is not 9 things to memorize and perform. It is an invitation to become someone who shows up, digitally, emotionally, consistently, in a way that makes the person you care about feel like she is not just in a relationship with you, but genuinely, quietly, deeply chosen by you. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop texting out of habit and start connecting with intention. And she will feel the difference before she can even put words to why. That's how real attraction works. It doesn't respond to grand gestures. It responds to presence. Repeated, specific, honest presence. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are just awake to something most people never stop long enough to see. And now that you see it, everything changes. Because the relationship you want doesn't start when she finally comes back. It starts the moment you decide to be the kind of man she can't stop moving toward.